On this video, I want to explain you how wrong is to force HLG over SDR content and why you're never going to see somebody that is a professional calibrator, somebody who knows. They are not going to recommend that because it is technically incorrect, okay? So does that matter to me? No, I think it's fantastic. It looks amazing. And it's actually surprising how good it looks because it's technically incorrect. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. So let me tell you why. So one of the main reasons is SDR content is on 8 bits. So that's the amount of information. So 8, bits is 0 or 1. So you have 8 bits. So it's 8 zeros or combinations of zeros or ones. So the amount of possibilities you have there is 2 to the power of 8. So that's 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 8 times. So in 10 bits is you have 10 zeros or ones combination. So you have a lot more possibilities and a lot more information there. So HDR 10, that 10 is because of 10 bits, and HLG also works with 10 bits. So when we are forcing HLG over SDR, we are forcing that over 8 bits of information, and that is big time wrong, okay? On this video, and I'm going to post this video on a link, so I don't want to show this video because it's a different, it's a different creator, but I'm going to recommend it. It's from this channel and Gadget. It's called HDR10 Dolby Vision HLG. How does high dynamic range video work? Very good video, amazing work. He explains in detail. Very, very, very good. Just amazing video. So you can see here what HLG is doing. Basically is using the same I'm only gonna show 2 pictures of this video because I don't want to steal their content. So you can see basically HLG is using the same gamma curve that 2.4 or BT1886, and then for the first for the lower end of the luminance, and then for the higher end it's just compressing that and then giving you those highlights. That's why it looks so awesome. But if you look at this graph at the bottom, we have 10 bits, so it's a lot more information. So how can that work well on 8 bits? It's not gonna work very well, and the result is going to be more color banding and other problems that I'm not aware, but something that I can definitely see: color banding. And one comparison I was doing just to see with my perception, what can I see about what's the difference between real HLG video and a conversion from that same video on SDR to HLG. What's the difference? And I'm gonna share with you my perception on that comparison. Before I do that, let me show you the second picture I want to show on this video, which is basically very important. It's very important for this comparison. Okay, here it is. So this is very important. The real HLG video is going to play on every SDR display, okay? But that version is going to have lower quality than real SDR. So what do I mean by that? This video that I'm gonna be using now for comparison is originally on HLG. So when I am playing the SDR version of that video, that SDR version has lower quality. There's a lot less quality than that if you just record that video on SDR, okay? So that is giving me, it's not a fair comparison at all, because the video game on SDR is gonna have more quality than the same game on real HLG, just being shown on SDR. Okay, so it's not a fair comparison, but understanding that limitation, I'm going to share my perception about the difference between real HLG and SDR to HLG conversion, also converting the color space. And that's the second limitation that I'm going to explain. So that's basically what he shows here on this picture. Real HLG, displayed on SDR in comparison with real SDR. The real SDR looks a lot better, basically. So that's a big limitation on this comparison that I'm going to do and I'm gonna share. So basically what I'm doing here is opening this video that is called Panasonic Lumix GH5 HDR HLG BT 2020. So this video is originally shot on HLG BT 2020. Okay, so we have the option to use Microsoft Edge to get the real HLG video if we have HDR on Windows. Okay, but if we turn off HDR from Windows, which right now I have that HDR on off, if we turn off HDR from Windows, we are actually going to see the SDR version of the video. Okay, so let me show you. That's what we have right now. We have HDR off on Windows and we have HLG on the TV. So force, basically. So right now we are forcing HLG over SDR. Okay, that's what we have. So now let's talk about the colors. We already established the limitations in terms of that, the difference between real HLG and the SDR version of that same video. It has a lot less quality than a real SDR from that same footage. But we also have to understand that the SDR version of that video is not gonna be on BT 2020. Okay, it's going to be on Rec 709. Okay, so when we are converting that SDR version, we have to also expand the color space. So that's why I have to use native. Okay, so we convert that Rec 709 or BT 709, which is the SDR standard. We expand that to DCI-P3 or BT 2020. I think it's DCI-P3. I'm not sure what the TV is doing there, but that's we have to do it. So basically, what I'm going to be comparing here, and you have to rely on my description. This is what I did. I watched the video several times on real HLG, and then I watched the video several times on SDR to HLG conversion, also using that color gamut conversion. Okay, and this is my perception, what I can conclude by doing that. There are some things wrong with this that I can clearly see, and one thing is color banding. I can clearly see that there is color banding. Why? Technically, because of that 8-bit or 10-bit explanation that I was giving you. When we look at, for example, when we look at the NVIDIA control panel here, let me open the NVIDIA control panel. So you see what NVIDIA tells you about 8 bits or 10 bits, basically. NVIDIA tells you that this 10 or 12 bits, it tells you using higher output color depth can help you to display colors with higher quality, especially for smooth color transitions and gradients. Okay, so that's a big deal, and that's why when I am converting this SDR 8-bit video to HLG, I am going to see color banding that is not present on the original HLG video. Why? Because that original HLG video is on 10 bits. So that the gradients of colors is gonna be better on 10 bits because there's more information. So what is those gradients of colors? Basically, let's say that you are going from this color blue to less saturated blue, okay? So to do that transition smoothly, you need a certain amount of color bands available, like more color information, okay? If you don't have enough information, the result is going to be, you're gonna be able to see a hard and visible band of color because there was not enough information for the colors in between to make that transition more smooth, okay? So the result is that I see on this video, exactly on this shot here. This is one thing I don't like about Microsoft Edge, like it just blocks the entire screen unless you hit play and you don't move the mouse for a while. So I see color banding here and it looks awful. It looks awful. That is not visible on the real HLG video. It is not. So that's one problem, and I'm aware of that. This looks awful. That is not present on the real HLG. Let me actually prove that. Well, not prove, because I mean you have to rely on my description, but I'm going to change this to SDR, and I'm going to open the real HLG video. First I need to turn on HDR from Windows, and then I need to open the video again. So now you see the video is on HDR. So if I skip the video to that place again, it was here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, that is a lot better. Still there is some minor color banding, but the difference is night and day. Night and day. So why is this transition a lot smoother? Because this video is on 10 bits, okay? So if we have the opportunity, let's say, if a video game has HDR10 implementation, if we have the opportunity to tell the game, give me 10 bits, I don't know if that is even technically possible. Give me 10 bits on SDR, and then we do this conversion, it will be perfect. Or even better, if we can tell the game, hey, give me 10 bits on SDR and give me DCI-P3, give me the color space of HDR. But give me that quality, give me that information, that amount of information on SDR. And then we're gonna force HLG, it will be a lot better. The gradation of colors will be a lot better. I don't know if that's technically possible, and I know for sure that's not gonna happen because no game developer will have any reason to do that. You either use HDR10 that they are providing to you, or you use SDR. There's no reason to do that. So that's one problem. And the second thing that I see, and I don't know if that's a problem, actually I like it, especially on the games. I love it when I see the sun being more orange, more red. I like that a lot. It looks fantastic to me. But it is a noticeable difference. On this highlight, well, actually it's not happening because it's real HLG. That highlight in comparison, the real HLG with the SDR to HLG conversion, the difference is pushing red. SDR to HLG conversion is pushing red. Maybe that doesn't look more, that's not more accurate, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. But definitely that SDR to HLG conversion is pushing more reds. And that's actually why I have to lower that color saturation from 55 to 50 when I'm using color gamut on native. And the reason is red, is that color red, clearly. That's the reason why I lowered that. So is this recommendation, is my recommendation correct? No, it is not. It is not. What I'm telling you and what I am recommending is not technically correct. It's completely wrong, actually. But does it look great? Oh, hell yes. It looks amazing. Actually, somebody that knows a lot about this, they might be surprised how good is the result, because somebody who knows would never try it. Like, they would never try it. Like, that makes no sense. How are you gonna get an SDR signal that is on 8 bits and is on Rec 709, and you're going to force the TV? You're gonna tell the TV, no, actually that's HLG, so change that gamma curve. Okay, so you compress that part of the information, give me highlights, and on top of that, we're gonna, that color gamut, we're gonna just expand it and remap the colors to give you DCI-P3 or BT2020. I don't know which one is it. I think it's DCI-P3. So that's completely wrong. But will I stop using it? Hell no. Because I'm gonna tell you what's even more wrong. What's even more terrible. I open Red Dead Redemption 2, I turn on HDR, and the colors are completely diluted and desaturated. Are awful. So again, I'm gonna try that, reshade, and try to modify the gamma and see if that works. But I open Metro Exodus, same thing. HDR's atrocious. The black level race like crazy. I open Cyberpunk, black level race, awful. So that's worse. That's even worse. So of course, every time, if we have the opportunity to get a good HDR implementation, there's no way this HLG trick is gonna be better. No way. It's just nonsense to even think about it. But I don't know. Well, I do know why we have so many catastrophic HDR implementations. Is because these TVs are a privilege for a minority. Okay, so developers, they are just thinking about the common denominator, and and doing everything for the lower end, because that's what most people are gonna be able to have. So that's it. That's my take. And again, I am not doing it because I want to cover my back, because I know a lot of people, the more, if I get more notoriety, you're going to see the big dogs coming after me and trying to make a video discrediting me. But there's no way you can discredit me, because I am telling you what I like. I am not saying that's correct or that's better. Okay, I am saying it's better. It's better for me. It's better in my opinion. It looks better to me. Okay? So I'm telling you, try it. Try it. The last thing I want is to spread misinformation. Okay? I am not an expert. I'm telling you that on every single video. I'm not an expert, but I am enthusiastic, and I want to get the best out of this, because I paid a lot of money to get this set up. Okay? This is a dream for me. So for some reason, professionals and people who have been doing this for a while, they are angry with me giving you this recommendation and this information. They don't like it for some reason. I don't know why. Why would you be upset with somebody who tries a setting? It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. They like it. If you like to go to your color saturation, you like to bump that up to 70. Okay, is that wrong? Yeah, it might be wrong. Do you like it? Well, it's not wrong for you. So if you like to just bump up that color saturation, that's fine, do it. When you go to the store to buy these TVs, they are all on vivid mode. All the TVs are on vivid mode with everything cranked to the maximum. Why? Why is that? Because people like it. Because it calls people's attention. Okay? So if you like that, use it. Who cares if that's right or wrong? So for me, HLG is the best thing ever. And one of the main things is black frame insertion. Motion Pro is unusable on these TVs because it's not bright enough. It is not bright enough. So everything becomes dark. So HLG dynamic tone mapping on is the best way to use black frame insertion. So what do I think LG should do about that? They should have, for example, that color gamut on native, which is basically expanding the color space from Rec 709 to a bigger color space. I think they should have something like from 8-bit to 10-bit conversions, something like that. I don't know if that's even technically possible, but if it is, they should have something. They should have this HLG dynamic tone mapping on set up even better for black frame insertion. And I'm sure if people go and they turn on Motion Pro and the average picture brightness stays the same, but now you move the camera and the motion resolution is amazing, that's what you want. Nobody's gonna use Motion Pro. I'm sure most people with these TVs, they don't use it because it's too dim. It's too dim. So that's why, that's the way I use the TV all the time, because I love that motion resolution. Because I was using a plasma TV, I was using a CRT monitor. So I can't stand that sample and hold blurriness unless the graphics are, mind blowing. So yeah, next video I'm gonna show you actually that Matrix demo, that Unreal Engine 5 demo. I'm gonna show you how good HLG looks on that demo. It's insane. It's the highest next gen graphics you can enjoy right now. Is that using HLG? I'm gonna show you that on a video. You're gonna I've been hours just looking at it. That's not even a game, and it looks incredible. So yeah, that's my point. If you have any questions, let me know. And if somebody attacks me on the comments, I don't care. I'm not gonna even read the comments, so go ahead. You're helping my algorithm on YouTube. If you make a mean comment, I'm here just to help people that they really need help, because when I needed help and I reach out to the big channels, they ignore me. Okay? So I am here to help you if you need help. If you have a question, I'm here for you. If you do a mean comment, I'm just going to ignore you. You're gonna waste your time. So yeah, it's what it is.